Yes, good to see you.
Awesome. Okay. Wow, this is great. Hi, Tabitha.
Hi.
So we're missing Nancy.
And who's town of Groton?
I'm sorry?
It's Lisa.
Oh, hi, Lisa.
Nelson.
Lisa's playing hide and seek. She's not
Yeah.
showing herself.
I keep forgetting Tabitha's on, so I don't necessarily need to be here.
Oh, yeah, but yeah,
Just
we're
I
actually
started.
here. So all right, well, since it's 5:30 and normally Nancy is here, but I have a meeting for this meeting, then I have another meeting from 6:30 to 7 and another meeting from 7 o'clock until it is over, which we have so much on our agenda today where I'm on the RTM, so we're doing the budget. So anyways, so my husband's making dinner, which is the benefit of this, is I don't have to make dinner. So I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. And I will just put down everybody who's here. I'd like to welcome Missy House, who has been watching our meetings, but I haven't gotten to, other than the trash pickup, I didn't get to see you. And Dana, who I guess, actually I looked on some really old things that I'd been sent that I came across and your name was on there. So I don't know what happened. So I'm sorry. So
That's all right.
Dana's another interested person. She's actually more of an artsy person, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So perfect. I told her it was perfect timing because we need to get rolling on some artsy stuff because our artsy stuff has kind of been stepped on recently. All right, everybody got the minutes. This is the minutes of April 12th, 2021. Did anybody look at them to know if they needed to make any changes or additions?
I didn't see anything.
Didn't see anything?
I saw something on the track, so I don't know if you want to do that now or later on the unfinished business.
Yeah, well, I just was wondering, was there anything though on the minutes that
The minute says that the track challenge is to collect 500 pounds of plastic in exchange for a new track bench, which is not quite correct. So
okay.
I don't know how that works. If you want to
That's a
leave
good
it as
question.
is and talk about it later.
Changes now.
I'm sorry?
We make the changes now.
Okay. Well,
because it's actually to collect 500 pounds of plastic to be eligible to compete for a bench.
oh, okay. Well, I don't know that we need to change the minutes though, because I don't think that was clear. I certainly didn't make that clear
Okay.
on the minutes, right? So we'll clear it up this
Okay.
time. Okay. All right. So I think in the future, I'm going to change the agenda so that we have communications first, then new business, because I have got so many communications that I have a lot, and then they will lead us into new business, I think. So there.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes with one correction.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. Now, before we do this, I've got to say that we have had some changes in our membership. We've had much more interest, and I'm thrilled. We have some new interest. Aline, now I'm going to make it. Should I say Aileen, hard A, soft A?
Aileen, whatever.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. So Aline is a new full member. We had two, unfortunately, we could only have one extra person on our committee, because the committees only can be, I think 5 people. So, but we have lots of participants. We welcome participants of all Groton residents in our beautification projects, and we really need more people speak, because more hands make light work, and it will be much easier to get things done. So I just need to finish now with the approval of the minutes. So all in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, we'll get that out
Cindy,
of the
did
way.
you see the chat? There was a note in the chat.
I didn't, I'm not paying attention.
It just popped up.
Okay. All right. So can we go to, where'd that come from? Who's late? Is Nancy somewhere?
Said Merrick? I didn't.
No, I think it was
recognize him.
Merrick. Yeah, Merrick wanted to get in.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's awesome. The more the merrier. Okay, so then let's go to number 4, new business. Does anybody have any new business? Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna do this. Is that a no? All right, so I'm gonna go to communications, which is gonna bring us to new business, I think. After the last meeting, I received an email from Richard Chapman of the DOT. He's a traffic engineer, basically said, no painting of traffic counting boxes, which I've unfortunately forwarded all that stuff to Bruce. Welcome back, Bruce, to Connecticut, by the way, where we don't like to paint things, I guess. I heard from Michelle Maitland, who works in actually Public Works, right, Tabitha? Is she public? Yeah, she's Public Works. I had interacted with her because I'd written a letter in support of a rain garden at the Shinnecock Golf Club. And now she's reached out to me, and she's doing a project with pollinator pathways and other things. And Missy is also knows a lot about pollinator pathways. And I have her email here. I wanted to read a piece of it. It says, I understand your volunteers have a mix of interests, public art, signage, landscaping, gardens, etc., but think there are projects which can engage multiple interests. When there are talks of nature trails, etc., those can be opportunities for eco-friendly public art installations, and so much of public education is around a visual representation and an attractive delivery. So she and then sent me another email on more things. She's put in a grant for the rain garden at Shinnecock Golf Club, and has a lot of ideas, and I'm hoping we can kind of synergistically, I picked a bad word, work together. And she's from Public Works, Michelle Maitland. Let me see. So we had, did you guys all see the Avery Memorial Association letter that we received that they sent to us?
Mhm.
So if you recall, after we had that area cleared, the Inland Wetlands Committee was concerned. So I went and spoke to them. So they don't want us to do that anymore. But then Aileen and I went, and on the cleaning day, people went their separate ways, the spring cleaning day, but Aileen and I went there, and we got a lot of trash out. There's a lot of wonderful things growing. And so we got that wonderful letter from the Avery Memorial Association. Then Betsy McCousher forwarded me a blight complaint regarding the same area that we were talking about last year along, I always think of it as Route 1, and maybe it's Fort Hill Road also, down there across from Quantic Plains Park and across from the area that encompasses the town hall. So she sent it to me, and at the same time talked about getting involved with the neighborhood revitalization zone, which they call the NRZ, in the Fort Hill home area. And that area is called Fort Hill Homes, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess that group has been defunct for a little bit. And I've gotten some emails from Patrice Granatowski, Betsy McCousher, John Burt, and John Reiner. with suggestions on how to get it going again. I am not sure exactly how to get it going again, but I've received those emails and will need to, is anybody interested in working with me on that? I'm not sure. Do you have any input, Leanne?
What is it they want us to do?
Well, they'd like to get it to be reestablished, the NRZ, because I guess for the information I got from John Reiner was that I guess that they'd been very successful in the past. They
have been. I know a woman that I think she was president of that group. I'll look her up and give her a call.
I have some kind of guidelines as to they actually had a plan.
Yeah, so they had a strategic plan. It's in my office, and Susan Cullen was the staff person to the NRZ before. So we've been talking about this discussion a bit in-house, and I wasn't aware that anyone was sending you letters, Cindy.
About
it.
I was CC'd in.
Okay. Because we were supposed to have a meeting next week.
Somebody's trying to get unmuted. It keeps coming up. Maybe it's under chat.
Right, but I don't know that does anybody have I don't even, okay, let me see. Okay. Maybe
if you go to attendees, Cindy, can you unmute him?
it says 2 panelists and attendees. I thought I was supposed to be able to elevate somebody.
Usually if you click on somebody in attendees and then you can
okay.
unmute them.
But okay.
I'm keeping muted unless I have something to say because there's noise in the car.
Wait. Save chat, panelists, allow attendees to chat with. It says he should be able to chat. Oh, just chat, I guess.
Hey, Cindy, I don't know if it's within our purview to be involved in a beautification program for a neighborhood. That's really not what our focus is. That would really, that's a big deal.
It says from Markel P to everyone. So how can I talk then? Whoever Markel is.
Marek. Or Merrick. I don't know how to.
He's talking in the chat, but I don't know how else he can.
I don't know. Wait.
Under the attendees tab, if you click on a person's name, does it do anything?
No, if I click attendees, nothing happens. If I click panelists, nothing happens. There's, I am.
Sorry, Merrick, I can't.
So maybe press right mouse button, copy, select all. Nope.
Well, we'll have to apologize and move on.
All right. Yeah, I guess that was we maybe.
Could I ask a question while you're struggling with that?
Yes.
Okay. Is there thought that we want to maybe just talk to those people about getting their group going again because of what we're going to be doing in front of it? That may be what they had in mind, because the problem is if you have a blight complaint, you can't go in the backyard of a house. And
right.
That's actually the backyard. So if you want, as I said, the girl that used to be very active with it, Dana, I could contact her before our next meeting and talk with her and see if what her input might be.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think, but the thing that we've had a couple of people speak, it's along that corridor that, could use a little attention. And I talked with Mayor Granatowski, and she said she said it was very, very difficult to change things that are on somebody's property. So there was just a new sign put up for the Raheem Carter Park. What also got me thinking about this, Bruce, was that we are looking for areas that aren't on state roads to beautify. We might be able to do a crosswalk in that area. We might be able to do some type of asphalt art in that area, because that's taken care of by the town, not the state.
Mhm.
So, and it's close to a lot of things, and there's so that's what I was thinking about, is to incorporate the neighborhood, since that is a main corridor of our town, and see if we could make a few little beautification efforts in that area. But you need to have some buy-in from the neighbors. You can't just, anyways, that was my thought.
That's a long-term project, in my opinion. You know, I've worked with some of those folks before, and it's difficult, to say the least, to get everybody on the same page to do something like that. I mean, you're welcome to give it a shot, but I just think it's difficult.
I think the group sort of dissolves because it needs to have representatives from the community on it. And
Oh, absolutely.
there wasn't enough people that were willing to step up and do that. So maybe they're looking to you, Cindy, and us to be bodies in that capacity.
But I think from what I looked at, it really needs to be community buy-in. It's not really people outside the community, although, if we had an art project or something like that we could bring forward, that would be, I'm sure, acceptable. But I don't know, I'm just telling you my communications at this point. Does anybody else have any input?
I do. I know this group that made that blight complaint about several of the properties on Fort Hill Road. And first of all, I'm not sure they realize that it's a state road. But what they're asking for is trees or bushes or plants, something to be planted behind those homes that do have like a permanent big metal structure that they're using for garbage, or there's some really bad homes. We can't see them quite as badly now because of the greenery coming in, but most of the year you can see right into the backyards with just garbage strewn all over the place. Do you know where I'm talking about? The area that's
Right. Been that way for years.
Well, I think people are getting really tired of it and they want the blight officer to do something. I'd love to know, what is the job of the blight officer? We have a blight officer. Would he be interested in coming to talk to the beautification committee to tell us what exactly he can do, or who does what in the town? I don't really understand that.
Well, you're not alone.
I'm sure
Tom Zanarini.
I'm sure he would be happy to come to our next meeting and talk with us. And also, I could get actually, Tabitha, we have a direction as to what he can and can't do. We maybe could send that out to the members of the committee, and everybody could familiarize themselves with it, and then we could get him in to talk about it.
Yeah, I can find those regulations and send them out for you guys.
Okay, that maybe be a beginning. Cindy, you think that's okay?
Yeah. I'm a little uncomfortable with specifically calling a homeowner out with regards to their property.
Absolutely.
That makes me a little uncomfortable.
Well, you can't, Cindy. You can't
What?
go to somebody's backyard, so you
Right.
can't do anything that way. But the idea of maybe the trees, some arborvitaes, or some climbing, something that would climb up the fence that's there, that would kind of, make it so that it's not quite so obvious. I'm quite sure we could do something like that.
Right. Okay. All right. All right, Tabitha, why don't you and I be in touch? Well, and maybe with ideas should he do about whether he should come or not?
I mean,
Or
I
what
can
he
just chat with him. He has the office right next to me. so-
Okay, all right. And I know he's seen the complaint, so, you know, I would love to hear what, yeah, his ideas. Let me see. All right. All right, anybody else have any communications they want to share?
On communication, I have someone from Mystics wondering why the cans were blue, but the lid black. Are they going to stay black or are they going to be blue eventually as well?
They
I
are
think-
blue.
I think all of them are blue.
They're all blue.
All the tops are
The
blue.
lids as well?
It's not
The
black.
lids
They're
are as
not black.
well. Yeah, all the lids are all brand new,
Okay, well,
and
apparently someone spotted one without a blue lid or blue top.
huh,
They are blue.
So anyway, that doesn't seem to be a big deal.
okay. Yeah, it's funny that we got positive feedback on that, but still get some negative feedback, or, well, where else are you gonna do that, you know? So it's hard to just take a little part of the town and help out.
You know,
Yeah.
let me ask one question about that, since Aline brought it up. If they're going to design garbage cans like that, they ought to ask for the input of some of our artists that could maybe give them a little bit of a heads up on how to design something like that so it looks a little better. It really could have used some help along the way.
Well, so, I mean, I had to approve everything, Bruce. That's why I sent it out to you guys.
I did. I replied, but nothing. By the time I replied, it was like a done deal.
Right. They were already painted, but
Yeah.
we had a couple mock-ups that I sent out to everybody. So we had, and you guys said, oh, take that dreadful orange off of there. So I did that.
Yeah.
We picked the seagull of the 3 seagulls that they gave us. So that was our opportunity at that
Well,
point.
no, I realize it's a done deal now.
Uh-huh.
But I was looking at one of them the other day, and those are decals on one of the cans,
Yep.
and they're just in the wrong places. They should have been designed so that they were on a horizontal plane or a vertical plane, and they're at odd angles. They look like this. Here's the central design, and the decals are like that. So, and something could be put on the lid. That would have been good too. A decal on the lid would look okay.
Just,
Just a thought, next time up, if we have the opportunity.
All right. I am not going to complain. Those guys worked their butts off, and I was so impressed that they could do that decal work, to tell you the truth. So, but I am not the artist. So next time I will definitely specifically check with you, and maybe with
or not just me. I mean, anybody.
No, I know, but also with those people who are the most artistic, or throw it out there.
So
That does include Dana too.
I don't want to interject too much, but I think the trash cans are great, but I wonder if we can aim a little higher maybe, because I was on vacation recently in North Carolina, and all their trash cans were these matching metal stamped with the city seal.
Yeah.
And they were very nice, and I don't know why we can't have something like that.
Right.
Okay.
And I don't know if what we need to do to make that happen. I mean, it's probably money, but
we could probably next year do a wrap on the cans. We had talked about doing the wrap on the electrical boxes. So maybe what we can do for next year is, if we start planning a little bit ahead of time, get some wraps done, get a couple of our artists to come up with something that looks really nice, and then we can get them made and wrap the cans,
Good idea.
and it'll last longer.
Mm-hmm.
So if we put that down for a fall project.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start delegating too, Leanne, like you told me.
That's right.
I appreciate your input. Thank you, guys. All right. Okay, let's move on to unfinished business. That's okay. Avery Memorial, you guys received the letter from the Avery Memorial Association, which they were very appreciative. everything was trimmed back, and now we've got these huge ferns. I mean, they look like they're about a foot tall. Missy, have you seen it? Like
Yeah.
they're like these ridiculous ferns that appeared out of, obviously they've been there the whole time, but you can see them now. So we
And
had
the river is running through.
yes, exactly. There was a lot of trash, and there's a little cute little bridge and a little tiny creek, and there was a lot of trash in there, and we pulled a lot out. I'm sure it'll get stocked very quickly again. On the spring trash cleanup, thank you, Rachel Franco. Oh my gosh, she brought the Fitch High School baseball team, and it was Missy, another older woman who I didn't catch her name, Nancy, Aileen, me, and the Fitch baseball team. And those boys really helped. I mean, they collected the majority of the trash. And it was Rachel who stepped in for Leanne and brought these kids and the coaches. And they cleaned up a lot of trash. Missy, how did you find your area? I didn't get to speak with you after.
It's pretty bad. There's still a bike tire or a car tire. One homeowner in the back of that walkway, the raised boardwalk, had just dumped cans, miscellaneous, a ton of cans. And so we couldn't go in their yard to pick up the cans, but they're the very first house when you're coming from the business building there, when you start the walkway from the business building. You know where I'm talking about? When you can start two ends of the boardwalk. And one of the neighbors just threw out, now I don't think anyone dared go in their yard. They had a dog. So even though it was touching the boardwalk, you really couldn't get to that garbage. But there was just huge amounts of garbage. You had to jump over the boardwalk fence into the reeds to pick up the plastic that was going to go into the ocean. It was right on the waters. It really was quite a cleanup. It really was a lot of work going up and down over the banks, over the boardwalk fence.
Well, the city of Groton had a very good turnout. They had like over 30 people who came, and the mayor's assistant would like to do it again in 6 months. Maybe we should do a targeted, area, and you have a couple spots like that that are a little bit tucked away, but that you want people to enjoy, and maybe we could all do it. Head over to that direction. I found that the Public Works Department were really easy. I called the guy, Tim, at the transfer station, and they went and picked up all the trash. So they were very easy to work with, and I think they'd be happy to do again if we want to do it again. So thank you very much for participating. I really appreciate it. Aileen, you did some, but my end part of my recap was I didn't get the word out enough in Groton, because without the Fitch baseball team, we would have been, wouldn't have been able to clean up nearly as much. So we'll have to figure out how to get the word out better. Although they did it great in Groton City, so I don't, and I think they started much later than we did. So I'll have to see.
A lot of cleanup events too. Did you know? You see
You're
that?
right. You're right. There was a lot. Yeah. Maybe next year, the weekend before Earth Day.
Groton, the town of Groton, your cleanup was the same day as the Groton Long Point cleanup. So while there were lots of people who wanted to come from Groton Long Point, they chose to do, their home beaches, their home areas.
Okay. Yeah. So I think maybe another weekend would be good, because I think people were inundated. I had a couple of friends who participated outside of our group, and they said their backs were killing them. They just went all the way up Allen Street. And they were like, oh, my back's killing me. So we're gonna have to get ourselves physically prepared. Okay, so maybe in 6 months or 5 months, we'll talk about it again. The Trex recycling challenge. Aileen, do you want to talk about that? I just want to say I did send just today an email to Greg Hanover from Public Works saying, if we were to do this, you have to collect 500 pounds of the plastic. And it's, I don't know if you heard about this, Missy, or not, about it's the specific types of plastic, the stuff that's often not recyclable, the wrap that, like if you buy a large thing of paper towels and the plastic bags, the shopping that were not supposed to be handed anymore, but many other places use them. But you have to collect 500 pounds, which is over 40,000 plastic bags. But you can have lots of other plastic wraps and things like that. But Aileen, do you want to talk about it? Because you actually looked into it the most, which I really appreciated.
Well, I look at the site, yeah, because I wanted to see what was involved. There is a time limit. There is a 6 months window during which you are collecting plastic. And ideally 500 pounds or more. And then you can be eligible to earn a prize. It would be either a paper thing saying, okay, congratulations, or you can be eligible to enter to win a bench.
Oh, I thought everybody who completed it got a bench.
No.
Oh.
But it's by region. It's not for the entire states. We would be region northeast of USA. So the competition is not as steep as if it was the entire state.
Okay.
But you have to collect. They send you a box, and the box is to receive plastic bags that are clean, that are dry, there's no food residue. And inside the box, you have to use a 50-gallon, 40 to 50-gallon bag and fill those, take them to centers. And we are lucky in Groton, we have Big Y, we have Stop and Shop, we have Calls, who are part of the recycling with Trex. And you weigh your collection and you report monthly to Trex, and at the end of 6 months, you're done. And the restriction on the type of plastic, they send you a poster which is very clear and explain exactly what you can recycle and what you can't. What I was a little bit disappointed because you cannot recycle PPE. That would have been a big deal if we could do that, but no.
Okay, yeah, because isn't that medical waste?
No medical waste.
Yeah. Okay.
No frozen bags either, frozen food bags, things like this.
But they did have, like Ziploc bags and
Ziploc bags, yes. No, everything number 2 or number 4 plastic, yes. Mm-hmm.
And also I saw that the
Isn't that at 8?
The things that you package stuff in, like
yep. Anything wrapped, the bubble wrap.
Yes, bubble wrap.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. How are people feeling about this? Should we continue to look into it? I know it's not an artsy thing. It's more of a get plastic out of our environment kind of a thing. I guess I'd like to know, I mean, no matter what, we'd be removing plastic from the environment. However, we're not sure we'd get a bench or not. I mean, the benches are nice.
I was trying to figure out how it fits within the beautification committee statement, or well,
that's true.
Why we chose that as to start as a project.
Well, I just put it out there just because it came across in my garden letter that specifically, which, it is gardening, but it's also environmentally, like one of the things both Dana knows about, Missy knows about, is the pollinator pathways, which can I think they've done that at the Shanticosset Golf Club to a good success. I think it's Mayor Grantowski told me it's absolutely gorgeous out there. And, you know, I guess that was my feeling. So we don't have to do it. I just wanted to gather the information. I didn't finish what I was saying about emailing Greg Hanover. I said, did they have a space we could keep things or use so that we could kind of manage it a little more easily? Because when I think about 500 pounds of plastic, I'm not, but anyways. So
but you don't keep the plastic. You don't keep it in one thing. You gather the plastic and regularly you bring it to Big Y or to Stop and Shop.
Right, but you collect it, like, don't you do that once a month?
Well, it depends how it's set up. It could be every week if someone is there to man a spot where people know how to bring the plastic on a weekly basis, or it could be on a monthly basis. I don't know. That's
okay. So I guess I would like to.
I guess.
I'm wondering if people are interested in this or not, or if this is just going to distract us.
Well, my impression is that I'm really interested in doing things that are visually impactful in town. I want people to say, "Oh, that's a difference." And I think the plastic, while a laudable pursuit, is really not in that category.
Okay. Leanne, you have an opinion?
Well,
hi, Nancy.
I think it would be a good fall project. I'm sorry. I was doing something else. I think it'd be a good fall project. I think right now we need to be doing something that's very visible. And the thing I had wanted to talk about today was we had talked about putting some boxes with flowers in them on the bridge down at Pequannock.
Like they have in Westerly, just like in Westerly.
Yeah. And do you know?
Where is that? Where exactly are you talking about?
The bridge going from Pawcatuck into Westerly. I'm talking about doing the same thing here at Pequannock Bridge. They're boxes and they come and they go on to the railing. I don't know what's there for a railing. I'd have to go and take a look. And then I know the woman that runs the beautification club in Pawcatuck, and I could find out from her where they got them, what they put into them, get the whole thing together and email it out to everybody before our next meeting.
Well, I think that would be great. I mean, that would be immediate.
Yeah.
I really, Bruce and I have been going back and forth about the utility boxes a little bit, and I think it's going to be a huge fight with the state. But Bruce, when the last meeting, we talked a little bit about maybe a mural, and maybe that's something we could work towards.
We've talked about this before. There's, again, going into Westerly, on the right-hand side, just as you go under the overpass, there is a great mural on a brick wall. And I keep saying the middle school, the old middle school next to the town hall, has some walls that could use some art. Yeah. And I think maybe, if we could just focus on the bridge plantings and art on one wall, it would be an accomplishment.
Well, we have a girl that volunteered her time to work on a mural. Her mom works up at the annex.
Right.
She came to a meeting and she said that she would do a mural for us. And I think she had friends that would work with her. So what we need is Tabitha to go and get us a permit that we can do it.
Well, we need to also know what she plans on doing.
Yeah, we need to identify not just some brick wall, a very specific spot.
Right.
Of course, I'm kidding, but we do have the teacher at Votech also that's come to some of our meetings.
Right, Joy.
Had said that
Yeah.
she had people that could help with that. But I can't remember the girl's name that said she would do it for us. Does anybody else remember?
That has to be in one of our minutes. That has to be in a meeting minutes.
Yeah, because she and her mom came to the meeting. It was back when we were able.
Was her mom actually on the committee? Wasn't there somebody on the committee?
Yes, I think you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
I looked at some of the murals that they had done up in Jewett City. They did one at a gas station or something.
Uh-huh.
And they were kind of flowers, if I remember right. And they were okay, but we have to identify what kind of a subject we want.
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
if it's Groton, I'd prefer to see something that's historically oriented, so it won't create some kind of a controversy.
Right. We need a theme. There has to be a
Yes,
theme.
exactly, and maybe double check, the credentials of somebody doing something like that.
Right. Well, they'd have to show us their work. And just as I think about it, there is a fellow who's at the naval base who does this. He's getting ready to retire, and he was on Channel 8 News. I keep trying to track him down because they showed some of his wall art that was phenomenal. And he's right here in Groton.
Oh, yeah.
So
Great.
again, I'm working on it.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. If you need some help, let me know, Nancy.
Okay.
Okay, so what is our theme?
Well,
But it's-
you're gonna have the new submarine sale down at the intersection, so I don't know if you want to go with a nautical, in that area, like maybe if you had something like, God, it would be wonderful, but if you maybe could, the first sub and maybe even a wooden boat, then a sub, then the big sub, to kind of take them through the years that we've been connected with the water.
Yeah, I think that's good. Tall ships or something like that.
Well, remember a long time ago you suggested a compass rose, Leanne. I
Well,
don't really like the compass rose too.
Yeah, that could be. I want to put that in the middle of the road someday.
I know, but I mean, I love that idea, but if it's a
know.
state road, forget it, right?
Oh, I never say.
I have a feeling, did you have an idea? Missy, did you have an idea?
Like climate change, you could do something that's kind of educational that, people can talk about when they see it, elements of climate change, or we could just pick something that's relevant to, 2021. And I was thinking a theme like that, something
You
like
could sending a message out also. I think kids need to see messages like community pride,
Mhm.
something like that,
Yeah.
so that they get that message that it's everyone. We're all in this together.
Exactly. We have to think about the message you want to send. That might take more time than actually painting the,
Yeah. Well, it's a sensitive time. Like Bruce said, you don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, and everybody's feathers get ruffled fairly easily. So it would be nice if we could come together with a theme that something attractive that would bring people together. Although even seeing the discussion over like trash cans, not in our group, but from the public, you can't please everyone all the time, obviously.
Right.
You're learning that, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm slow. I'm a little slow, Leanne. I have a very positive outlook. It's hard to, it's getting nibbled on though.
Yeah, don't pay
All right.
attention.
All right. So unfortunately, I've got my next meeting in 16 minutes. So what can I give everybody a task of coming to the next meeting, which is Monday, June 14th at 5:30, and we'll need to decide if we can meet together, maybe somewhere outside. Who feels comfortable? Does anybody feel uncomfortable with that?
I thought it really worked well in the park that we met in.
At Washington Park.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was nice because we had a picnic table and I got to bring my dog.
Well, is everybody inoculated? Is everybody vaccinated?
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody is, there's no problem.
Right.
Okay. All right, so I would like an idea for our theme. And a specific spot where you'd like to see it. And then we can work from there. Because I like Nancy's idea, but I also have an idea about across the street, which every time I drive by it, I can't help but think of the bad things that happened across the street. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if there was a mural there? There's a lot of wall space.
What's across the street?
Ryan's Pub.
Where?
Where?
Say where?
Ryan's Pub.
Oh, Ryan's
By the
Pub.
Shell station.
Yeah.
There's a white wall there. And
Oh, yeah.
all I can think about is like sunflowers or the view of Bluff Point or something like that. Although maybe that's not visual enough. The front of the what we're now calling the community center is definitely very, apparent.
Right.
So that might be a.
Can we gather somebody's okay to do that now? I mean, the owner of the building?
Well,
if we
the
can
town.
do that, it's a private building. We can, we can go ahead and do some stuff on private property.
Oh, right. Yes. So yeah, we'd have to get permission, but to get permission for what, I guess is my.
All we need is permission from the owner to paint something on the side of their property.
Right.
That's what they do down in the land. And they have people that take care of it over the years, but all they need to begin with is just to get permission from somebody like the guy that owns Ryan's Pub. Yeah, it's a nice wall. And then we can take care of putting together a mural that he might like to have or she might like to have and make it happen.
That's all owned by Ackley. You'd have to go and talk to one of the Ackleys.
No, I'm not adverse to doing that. I mean,
The liquor store next door?
What's
Isn't
that?
Ackley? Isn't it Ackley Liquors next door?
Well, it's one of the Ackleys that own it. Ackleys owns quite a bit of property.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
But once again, it's not quite as visual, but I think we're gonna have a lot of traffic at that corner.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
seems like a really good place to start. Tabitha, have you heard anything about the signage?
Yeah, I just got the sign package today because we had a sign package that included, a lot of little directional signs and then some of those bigger, welcome to Groton signs, and then the gateway sign we've been talking about, and then also a kiosk in the downtown area. So the kiosk in the downtown area has to go through Historic Commission approval.
Okay.
So it's slowed down a bit, and also there's working with the designers about the map and what it's going to look like. So it's taking a bit longer. So I had them split that piece out.
Okay.
And then, so he just gave me the package for the rest of the signs, which include that 117 and Route 1 gateway sign. And I can send that to you guys because I have a drawing of it now.
And can all the other signs that are there, like all the different, there's churches or maybe Rotary things, can those all be put together so we don't have all those different?
I don't know what to do with those either. I think that's a good suggestion. I need to talk to Public Works about the installation still. Kind of waiting for that bid package to come in. So,
Missy and Aileen, have you been with us long enough to know about the new sign that's going in at 117 and 184?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Across from the Shell station there.
Yeah.
No, but that's a mess with all those people putting in any kind of sign they want about their church or anything. It's really a mess there.
So, well, that's when we'd really like to get those reorganized and then have the one new Groton sign. And then also Tabitha is actually a landscape designer and she's put together really nice plantings for that area too.
Wonderful.
I was talking to Deb Galat today about that, the money towards the plantings. And I said, the signs it's taking a little bit longer than we expected. So, because we still have to put it out to bid, get it fabricated, and then Public Works needs to install it before.
Right.
Right.
Well, I will volunteer to water the darn plants to get them through the summer if I need to, because
It might be
that's what
okay
everybody
to
keeps,
plant some.
everybody keeps
Summer
thinking, well, we
2022.
need something cheap that's not gonna die. And it's like, well, it shouldn't die after the first year, but the first year I will be there watering it because
Whatever happened to Shinnecock? I missed that.
Michelle Maitland, who works with Tabitha, put together, and Tabitha did a beautiful rain garden for that area that we originally talked about, having a garden in front of the Shinnecock Golf Course.
Right.
So there was a grant out there that someone in Public Works was applying for. And so she wants to do a rain garden, which is a way to keep the runoff from going out to the Long Island Sound. So it was a perfect spot. And I know I had to send a letter into that in support of it, but I know it takes a while for that, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple weeks before we hear back about that.
Yeah.
Where were we getting the boulders from that we were gonna put out there?
Boulder?
When there 3 boulders on that?
Oh, boulders. I thought you
Yeah.
said boulders.
Actually, we just recently visited the job site over at Pequannock, one of the housing developments, and there was boulders in the back, and we're like, we'll just use these boulders. So we might we might work something out.
Good, because we need 3 over there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you ask them for the boulders?
We talked
Was
about
that,
it. Yes.
were you at the Housing Authority? Is that where you were?
Yes.
Yeah, no, we'll give you the boulders.
Thank you.
Repurpose the boulders,
There you
please.
go.
Okay, well then keep us up to date on that, because that I would love to. Yes, I would. So everybody's going to come with an idea for a theme and a place to put a mural in the Groton area.
And we're gonna meet.
I don't know, Mr. Ackley. I don't know if that, or if maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse.
You're talking about down where the bridge restaurant is, right?
Well, the bridge is on one side. There's the Shell station, there's Ryan's Pub,
Yeah,
and then there's the liquor store in the bridge.
yeah.
And bridge.
You're
So I
talking
was-
about the wall or by the parking lot there when you
I was
come in.
thinking the side of Ryan's Pub is
Mhm.
what I was thinking, but that's just me.
Okay,
To beautify something that was very unbeautiful. Anyways, but there's on the opposite side, which there's a bigger white wall, and obviously on the bridge, there's a huge area there too. And there's a huge parking lot there too, and I'm assuming that once the sale is put in, that's going to be a very busy place.
yeah, it is.
So,
It
but
is.
I agree with Bruce. I really want it to be attractive and professional.
Mhm.
Right, I think anybody who is an artist would need to submit their ideas to us
Yeah.
as a committee.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Hey,
Right.
Tabitha, let me ask you a question. Were you able to find any boxes, utility boxes in the city? Or is that just a lost cause that we could wrap there?
So no, I didn't look for those because I didn't realize I was tasked with that. So
Oh,
um
no, it's just
you
that
in
all
your
the ones
spare
I
time?
gave to, yeah,
the
it's just all the
second
ones I
page.
gave to you weren't Groton Utilities. So we would love to find a Groton Utilities box.
If there's one available, it would be great. I mean, we could
I
use it as an example.
I thought all the ones down on Route 1 belonged to Groton Utilities, the boxes. No,
Oh, yeah?
state,
All state.
yeah,
All
those are
state.
state.
that list I gave you was all state
Those are all state.
rats.
I know. Yep,
Okay.
rats. Exactly.
And they said no?
They said no many ways.
Essentially.
In many different people said no in many
Yeah.
different ways.
So, it looked like a
I'll
lost
look into the
cause.
boxes.
Well,
Yeah.
we could go back to the hydrants. We had talked about painting the hydrants.
hydrants, and you also talked
I
about,
think it really sounds like we have a lot on our plate right now.
Yeah.
If we can concentrate on the flowers on the bridge, a couple of walls, some artists, finding some artists, I think that we have, and again, the signage and the plantings,
Yeah.
we've got we can talk till we're blue in the face, but we need to do something about at least one of those things.
I agree. I agree. And right now is the time to plant a planter. I'm not sure exactly how large you guys are talking,
Where?
for Paquonic Bridge.
No, you have to go drive into Westerly and see what they did on the bridge. They're like window boxes.
Yeah.
that-
Oh, okay.
Boxes on the side.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're very simple. They're wood. They fit right on the edge of the bridge. I think they might be bolted down or somehow
Okay.
strapped
Yeah.
on. But yeah,
But then they have to be watered routinely. Who's watering those?
Let me, I'll go and take
The
some.
garden club.
I'll go and take some pictures. I'll send it to you. You can get it out to everybody and we'll move forward on it.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm sorry, Missy, are you in the garden club too, right?
Well, there's several in the area, and I know they're always taking grants for things, and they're always looking for work for their members. So yes, between the Trillium, Mystic Garden Club, there's several in the area that would possibly help out with that, planting and with watering.
And actually, you're right, with even maybe some money.
And I know they're interested in planting trees on Fort Hill Road. I mean, if we could get something flowering to hide those homes, I know we could, drum up support from the garden clubs.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got a lot of things. You're right. So you're gonna Leanne's gonna take a picture and send it to us of Westerly. Did you say?
Yep. Yes, the bridge going over.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right.
Leanne, take a picture of that while you're over there of that wall that is painted, right?
Okay.
Just
Yep.
okay.
Okay. Tabitha's gonna see if she can find any utility box that's not owned by the state. All right, and we're all gonna look for a theme and a spot to put a mural. But by next month, I mean, actually right now, it'd be nice if we could do the flowers before the next meeting, because right now is prime time to buy annuals.
Hmm.
All right, I will get the, let's see, today, I'll get the pictures out to everybody this week.
Okay,
And see how they're done. And then we can go forward on that. And then maybe we could get that accomplished.
yeah.
That shouldn't be too difficult.
If we could
Maybe, since time is precious and we've lost so much time, maybe we could meet within the next 2 weeks or in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a long meeting, but at least we can touch base with each other. And does that work for people?
Sure.
Yeah.
And not a Zoom. We don't need to do Zoom. Let's meet at the park.
That's an idea. I will be gone from the 21st to the 31st. I'm finally gonna go to California and see my mother.
That's this month. Okay.
Yes, the 21st of May. So I was actually meant to tell you that I'm gonna be kind of out of communication. I mean, obviously I'll have my computer, but yeah, so we're not supposed to meet again until the 14th. So we probably need to meet before then.
Maybe Tabitha could bring us all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. For Cindy, I could do that.
Okay. All right. I hate to say goodbye for another month, because I feel like we have to really hash this out so we know, so we can move forward and but I personally have got to sign off.
Okay.
And
Take
I'm
care.
gonna go watch the mayor get sworn in, so.
Have a safe trip. Safe trip.
All right. Thank you so much. Would anybody like to move to adjourn?
I'll do that. I'll move with you.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Nancy, I tried to send you a text. Will you check and see if you got it?
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I would like to.
Bye.
See you all.
So, all right. I'd like
You-
to say thank you for everybody for coming.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I
No,
didn't get,
I don't-
Leanne? I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
no.
All right. I guess I'm gonna hang up. All right.